Okay, it says let f be this function over here, and this is a complex fraction, all right? And it's a finite continued fraction, but anyway, it says identify the zeros of f and the maximal domain of f. Now, I'm gonna go for the domain first, because I think it's probably easy to do the domain first. So the first thing I'll do is, just be quite open about the domain and say all real numbers are allowed in, all right? That's the first thing I'd like to say. But then I gotta start to exclude numbers. So I'm going to say all the real numbers. That doesn't look like an all real number symbol, does it? So it's all the real numbers. However, I'm going to say x can't be certain numbers. So the first thing I want to say is x couldn't be 0. Because I'm looking at 1 over x, it can't be 0. All right? And the next thing I'm going to look at, one step at a time, by the way, I'm also realizing that 4 minus 1 over x can't be 0, because that's 1 divided by that. Right? So I'm going to say over here, x can't be. Again, I'm looking at this. That can't be 0, so x can't be 1/4. Because what would you have? You'd have 4 minus 4, which would be 0. That's no good. All right? I want to keep looking. All right? The next thing I got to realize over here, and it's painful, but I want to look at it. I'm realizing that 1 over 4 minus 1 over x can't be equal to minus 3. And why is that? If that were the case, that would be 0. And I need to solve that. So what do you have here? You get 1 equals minus 12 plus 3 over x. I'm going to add 12 to both sides. That's 13 equals 3 over x. So I'm going to say, looking at this, x is 3/13. So I can say 3/13 is not allowed in either. Yep, it's painful, isn't it? So let's see, we got all real numbers, x can't be 0. Oh, I got another problem, don't I? I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to write this down for you. Let me erase this business over here. I'm also going to erase this over here. And kind of like, I'm not going to say baby work, but we're kind of done with that. But I want to point out this thing here, whoops, this whole thing here can't be the number 2. And what does that really mean? It means that 3 plus 1, 4 minus 1 over x can't be 1/2. Because for 1/2, you get 1 over 1/2, which is 2. All right? So I'm going to say that doesn't look too bad to do. I'm going to kind of do it in pieces, by the way. Again, I know it's painful and tedious. So I'm not saying it's not. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides. And what do you get? You get 1, 4 minus 1 over x. And really what I'm doing 1/2 minus 3. And 3 is 6/2, by the way. That's minus 5/2. All right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides. Let me see what I'm going to do. You know what I'm going to do? I'll write this down. Take the reciprocals of both sides. Much more difficult, isn't it? And I'm going to multiply both sides by 5x now. You get 20x. And again, I'm multiplying by 5x. Minus 5. And I'm multiplying both sides by 5x. Minus 2x. Let me just stop for a moment and see how I did there. I think I did okay. So minus 5 equals minus 22x, or x would equal 5 over 22. So I know x can't be 5 over 22. I'll exclude that. And then the question becomes, I think I'm done with that. I got the real domain over here. It's all real numbers, but don't allow 0 in. Don't allow 1/4 in. Don't allow 3/13 in, and don't allow 5/22 in. All right, so I'm done with that. Then I'm going to go to the next thing up, which is try to figure out what the 0 of the problem is. I'm going to the whiteboard to do it, and I'll try to be as neat as possible. We got the domain part done. But I'm gonna say, what they want now is, they wanna know when the function takes on a 0. So I'll write that down, 0 equals 1 plus 1, 2 minus, it's painful, isn't it? 1, fraction bar there, 3 plus 1, that's very painful, 4 minus 1 over x. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to subtract 1 from both sides. And what do you get? You get minus 1 equals 1, 2 minus 1, 3 plus 1, and that's going to be 4 minus 1 over x. All right, it's kind of painful to look at. Oh boy, what are you going to do there? Well, a lot of things you could do. And what I'm going to do over here is, I'm going to multiply both sides by this. And let me write that down for you. You're going to get minus 2 plus 1, and then you get 3 plus 1, 4 minus 1 over x is equal to 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and what do you get? You get 1, 3 plus 1, 4 minus 1 over x is equal to 3. I'm adding 2 to both sides. And then I'm going to multiply both sides by this. And what do you get? You get 1, 9 plus 3, 4 minus 1 over x. Things are getting a little bit easier for me now. And I'll keep going. What do you get? You get minus 8 is equal to 3, 4 minus 1 over x. Wow, is it ever going to end? Yep. We're going to multiply both sides by this now. And what do you get there? On the right side, you get 3. On the left side, you get minus 32 plus 8 over x. Wow. 8 over x. I'm going to add 32 to both sides. That's 35. And then I'm looking at this thing, and I think I got my answer now. X is equal to 8/35. Now, someone says, we're going to check that. No, I'm not going to check that. But, you know, it's certainly not in the restricted domain of this thing, so this is a fine answer. If you want to check it, you can, though. Thank you.